There are organizations that have very few incidents despite working in high hazard industries. How do they do it? Well, these organizations are called high reliability organizations, or HROs for short. And the usual example that's given for a HRO is a commercial airline organization. If you think about it for a moment, air travel is incredibly hazardous. Yet, despite that, we've made it very safe. There are very few incidents despite the number of planes we can have in the sky at any one time. So what is it that these HROs do differently from more traditional organizations? Well, to answer that, we have to look at what these more traditional organizations actually do. And when we do that, what we see is that most of these organizations have a compliance focus. And what that means is they believe that the way you keep your people safe is that you put a system in place and then you ensure people follow that system. And that system is usually in the form of policies and procedures and that sort of thing. Now, when an incident happens, the witch hunt then usually begins to understand who didn't follow the system, and then they're disciplined for that. But these organizations operate fundamentally on the belief that the system will keep people safe. Now, HROs are different. HROs have an element of compliance in how they keep people safe as well, but they understand something fundamental. They understand that you can't design a perfect system to keep your people safe. What you can do is try, and then what you do is you put the practices in place to ensure you get the information from the front line back to you of where your system is weak, where it's ineffective. And then you address those weaknesses before an incident happens. If we had to break it down to one word, why HROs are different from traditional organizations typically focus on compliance, but HROs focus on learning. And if you want to take the next step in terms of making your organization safer, it's not necessarily doing more and more compliance. What it is about is learning where the compliance you already do is not effective and learning from those weaknesses and making your system stronger. And the first step in that journey is identifying the practices inside your organization that discourage learning and removing them, and trying then to put in as many practices as you can that encourage learning. That's the beginning of the path on a HRO journey.